Okay, does anyone have any questions for Rachel or John or Elizabeth at this point? Andy, you got a question?
Good afternoon, thank you. A couple of observations. First of all, about some of this, and then a question at the end, if you don't mind, if you bear with me. Some of that seems quite abstract, quite technical, quite scary. I think particularly if there's not local expertise in terms of research evaluation, which is the case in most local areas. And another point is that all areas will have some sort of monitoring system already for the LOIPs, for the children's services plans and so on. So we're not really starting with a blank sheet of paper. I think another concern going through my head is if we put a lot of resource into doing the monitoring evaluation, but the opportunity cost is that that's resource that we're not actually putting into tackling poverty. So I guess my question, if you're still bearing with me, is that what is a proportionate approach to monitoring evaluation of the children's poverty action plans? What does that look like? And it's manageable, and bearing in mind that most people that will be doing this won't really have much evaluation expertise. Is there an opportunity, for example, for us collectively as a national partners to work up a common template, or that kind of, in a sense, kind of dumbs it down a wee bit and just makes it a bit more straightforward? Apologies, that's a bit long-winded for a question, but.
Can I go with the first bit, not the difficult question, because I'll leave that to Rachel to answer. But it was interesting because you picked up that, Andy, it was a bit abstract. I took the opposite, particularly from Elizabeth, and it always a case of relax. Here's a statistician here from the Scottish Government telling you, focus on what you've got, focus local, don't keep looking for extra data, and then picking up what Elaine said this morning, they can just do it, get on with it and get it done. In a way, I was almost a kind of, whew. I took an exhale when I heard Elizabeth saying there's a statistician, or business is to look at data, but it's telling you, like, you've got that intelligence, you've got that information out there, make the most of that, and then let's take stock if we need any more. But it's for the outcomes. I'll doff my cap.
Yeah, I hope I was trying to make it seem less overwhelming, so apologies if it did still seem overwhelming. But I mean, I think all of us who work in the public sector will probably be aware that there's a chronic lack of evaluation expertise, and I'm not just saying that because I sit in probably one of the few evaluation national teams that sits in a public body, and it's something we're constantly having to basically try and work with that tension between a limited resource and evaluation and the needs of local partners. It's something that we already know is an issue in child poverty, and something we do want to work to support local partners with. Some of the ways that we're hoping, I guess, to bridge that gap is around. So the difficulty is with child poverty is it's such a broad area we're talking about. So this isn't a national policy where everyone's been expected to deliver exactly the same thing. And when I've worked in other bits of national policy, you can develop tools that are right. Well, this is an example of monitoring evaluation framework because we know that you're all doing this, this, and this. But it's going to be so much driven by local need and local capacity in terms of what actually happens that I think we probably can work to some general evaluation pointers. But as I tried to make clear in my slides, it'll depend on what you want to know locally, and that's what should drive it rather than national partners saying this is what you should think about. But also I'm really keen to try and develop some case studies of where we have gone in and offered. We can't offer intensive evaluation support to everyone, unfortunately. Maybe in a few years that might change. But at least if we work with a number of areas to really focus in on what you're doing, and how you might monitor and evaluate that. And in terms of getting the proportionality, again, that will be driven by because there won't be an ongoing national support around monitoring and evaluation, so it's about understanding what you're capable of sustaining locally as well. So, and I would rather kind of develop the practical examples and share those with others and work. I mean, the other thing to point out is this is like 10 years of commitment you're at least, getting from the public sector around this. I know not all the funding is committed that long, but this is just the start of a journey, and we're going to all be developing examples of good practice around things like monitor evaluation and practical, tangible actions as well. So we've a long way to go, and I guess I'm open to any suggestions of how we do share that expertise across 32 CPPs. So that maybe it's not a concrete answer, but we're aware of the tension, I guess, and I'm aware of the challenges.
Thank you.
Can I butt in? I just got a question, really, and this is, I've been in this area quite a long time, and I think there's actually quite a lot of local capacity around evaluation in different sort of parts of the public sector. I think the problem is sometimes the people who know how to evaluate a service and who know how to distinguish good quality from bad quality from indifferent think that something else is asked of them at a national level. They're asked to actually demonstrate the impact on the population health or whatever level they're trying to influence. And I'm just wondering whether that's actually part of the issue. People feel they're being asked to do something that's actually really difficult, if not impossible. But I think we've all accepted that is difficult, if not impossible. But there's a lot of things that can be done in order to look at, the quality of services, who's benefiting from them, and could those services be improved, be made more joined up, all that kind of stuff, which is really about getting value for money. And I think there's a lot of the public sector that's quite good about getting value for money. It's a question.
National partners ask this question.
I feel that I have to ask this question on behalf of the people who have asked it of me, and they're not here necessarily. But I think there is an apprehension that across all 32 community planning partners, people have to show the value added and additional impact across the 6 priority groups at a local level, ward or data zone level, of the impact of the work that they're doing. And how can they do that if they don't have the data? That's the sense that I get when people ask me that that's what they think they're being asked to do. So, is it? My answer is it's not.
The answer is no. Is that, yeah?
Yep.
I'll say the answer is no. Right, okay, carried.
So therefore, explain to them what they have to do instead. Because that's what they think they have to do. They need quants at ward level for single parents of a clothing grant project or something. That's it. I'm sorry. So what do they do instead?
What's the point Elizabeth made in there? He's going to me. I sat next to him in an office. I think the point Elizabeth is focusing the processes, focusing the local mechanisms that are making a difference. The high level outcomes, what it means in terms of the percentage you live in poverty. There's too many other factors that factor in there to reasonably make a claim that these local actions will make a difference there. The data doesn't just mean number, of course. Data also means, and it's not story just for the sake of an anecdotal, it's a story for understanding process and impact. So I think there's a broader range of strategies now, and hopefully, I think you're right, Stephen, there is a question, and there was a nodding heads when you were making the point, which you don't often get nodding heads.
No, I know. Looks occasionally.
Nice to see. But that does tell the story. We need to get that message out, and that's needs assessment can be number, where number is available, but needs assessment is so much more than that, and when it's not. I don't know if people's going to follow up on that.
Yeah, it's just that's the fundamental question. I think that the guidance will always describe something that you could take as far as you can. And if you've got the local expertise, if you've got the local knowledge, make it as detailed and as valuable as possible. But there will be some officers who worry that means that that's what's expected of them. And I think what we can helpfully do is to say, if you've got this, here's kind of the minimum requirement. If you've got that and your local partners and your local community say that's enough to be getting on with, then that'll be fine. But it's the level of doubt between the minimum and the maximum, and I think people get themselves a bit stressed imagining that it's going to have to be amazing.
I'm just aware that we're over time, so if we just keep it to burning questions at this point, if anyone has a final question they want to ask or comment.
Maybe that deserves a response, Peter. I think we do need to clarify a bit more. I think that's clear, isn't it? We need to clarify a little bit more about what that minimum and maximum might be, just to kind of reassure people. Yeah.
Okay. So thanks so much to the hardcore here that have stayed on to the bitter end. It's much appreciated. I would just like to reiterate that it is the beginning of a journey for all of us, so please don't hesitate to get in touch with us in terms of what you want clarification on, in terms of what you want us to deliver. I think what actually emerged earlier is that we, even between ourselves, need to be more clear about what we're offering, so we will be publishing a joint work plan as soon as possible to sort of highlight exactly what's on offer. But in the meantime, don't hesitate to get in touch with us via the K-Hub or via phone. It's very welcome, as is all constructive criticism. So I look forward to hearing that. We'll be sending out an evaluation from this event as well, so please be as honest as you like on that too. But thank you so much to everybody, particularly the speakers that have made the time to come here today. I think it's been a really worthwhile, if not exhausting, event. But as I say, you're still here and still standing. So thank you, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks.